Hey everyone, John Hartley, and I'm here with today's mail. This is from a proxy bid auction from last week, and let me make a disclaimer that, and I've said it before on these, the company that I buy from on proxy bid is just a site where auction companies can come in and use that tool to put their auctions on the internet. This company I've been buying from a long time. The only thing that I don't like what they do is they put coins in slabs, which are not third-party grading company. They're first party. They slab the coins themselves. So I understand that, and as the old saying goes, you don't buy the holder, you buy the coin. So keep that in mind. I guess they do it to make it seem more appealing, or that it really is graded that high, but this 64 plus. Anyway, this is a really nice early commemorative 1915 Panama Pacific Exposition, and other than, let me look at it up here. Got a lot more luster than the pictures. Now, this thing everybody keeps tools in their junk drawer in the kitchen, don't we? This thing's coming out of this holder. Sometimes these things pop right out, and sometimes they act like this. There we go. Alrighty. Now, there we go. A couple of things I like about this coin is, this is the obverse, and that is Columbia or Liberty. I think Columbia is what I did. I read up on it when I was buying the coin, and she has a cherub behind her holding a cornucopia that's full of, I guess, fruit. Or, looks like she's holding vines of grapes or something like that. But she's spreading them out over the earth. And one thing that this coin's obverse can prove to you is that Charles Barber, the guy that is famous for the Barber coins, which has Liberty on it that looks like a guy, ugliest coins the United States has ever put out, he can actually make something nice. This is his engraving. And if that eagle looks familiar to you, that's because it is familiar to you. If you've held a Morgan dollar in your hand, that's the eagle on the reverse, except this time it is sitting on top of a shield. But it's the same wingspan, same head. If it's not exactly the same, it's very, very similar. I think the feet are a little different because it's sitting on the shield. But this is George Morgan's design on the reverse. This, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is the second early commemorative. The first one was the Columbia Exposition, has Columbus on the front, or the obverse, and has a design on the reverse about Columbus discovering the New World. But that was in, what, 1892, obviously, 1892, 1893, because it was the anniversary of 1492, the Exposition was. And I didn't look up anything about the Panama Pacific Expedition in itself, Exposition in itself. I think I'll do that. But anyway, this coin in MS 60 is a $700 coin. And in the pictures at least, and I'll look at it more carefully afterwards, but if you go by the standards of grading the Morgan dollar, then you'll be looking at the chest feathers of that eagle, and this has full chest feathers. I'm hoping that you can see that. And the head doesn't, maybe it's a weak stripe, maybe that's the design, but the head doesn't have a lot of definition, the head of the figure of Columbia there, or Liberty, whichever it is. But I think this is uncirculated. And I paid about half of MS 60 $700 amount, and that $700 is the new Red Book price. If you're paying attention, a couple of years ago, early commemoratives started losing some of their value, so that's an updated. If you go back 2 years and look up this coin, it's probably going to be MS 60, going to be about 900 to 1,000. So this is a new addition to my early commemoratives. And I said that I was going to bring out the album that has my early commemoratives in it, but I didn't. I forgot. I just got this in the mail and I got excited and wanted to open it up. So I'll put this in the album, and then in my next video I will I'll show you the other early commemoratives that I have. It's a pretty good collection of them. Because I spent so much money on this coin, and I've already bought my 10-ounce silver bar for this month, I don't have anything else on order, which is unusual for me. There's always usually something coming in the mail. And there's this coin is just something I picked up for a few dollars, so don't worry about my fingers all over it. But this is the Columbian Exposition, the first commemorative. I have a better one in my album. This one is just something that was dirty, tarnished, stained. I've even practiced on this one. I practiced cleaning it a little bit in some acetone, and it did, some areas it did fine, and some areas it didn't. So that was just me experimenting on a what is a $10 coin. This is another coin that I put in acetone that was dirty and ugly. Just doesn't have any luster left to it. But this coin, this is a silver Roosevelt. It'll focus for you. This coin had some ugly toning, and it came out shiny. So I don't clean coins. I was just curious, and I got some. These are relatively inexpensive coins, so I was messing around with them. So I have nothing else coming in the mail. I've been looking around when I'm playing on the computer to find some design that I like and buy, and you know, relatively inexpensive coin. You know, just one of those things where you see a design that's kind of cool, and hopefully it's one that's common enough where you can buy it at a cheap price. And I saw one from Peru that they had the same design. It's a one sol from Peru, and the design's pretty cool. It reminds me of a seated Liberty, but they changed the design a little bit over a period of 60 or 70 years, it looks like. It was 1800s all the way into the probably 1930s they made the same coin. And some of them are just ugly as they can be, the designs, but the same design is just poorly put on a die, I guess. And the ones that aren't cost upward of $50, and I'm trying to preserve my credit card balance. So I got to keep it clear in case I run out of coffee and have to go to Amazon.com and buy me a case of coffee. So nothing else coming in. I'm babbling again. So until I have something else, I'm 1042.